Does it look good? I'm tricking myself in the mirror. Okay, I think it'll look good. Alright, so it was first episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, season 9. It was amazing, of course. Can RuPaul do any wrong? Season 9 finally arrived from the sky. And was I satisfied? Hell yes. So there's a lot that happened this episode. It's all about Lady Gaga, which I have no problem with. I like Gaga. I'm not like a super duper fan, but I do know all of her songs, so take that as you will. I saw the episode yesterday. I had a great time. There is no time that you watch RuPaul's Drag Race you don't have a good time. As soon as they step into that workroom, you know they're gonna be part of the RuPaul Drag Race family. So whatever I say here, just keep in mind these are Ru girls, and I have respect for them, and you know, unless they're like really horrible people in person, but you can't tell that off a TV show. So just take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is kind of our first reactions of them. So I'm going to tell you what I thought of the episode and the queens, and then you can leave comments if you disagree or you agree or whatever. But yeah, so let's get into it. So let's start with my favorite queens. My favorite queen, just from the Meet the Queens, I really love Valentina. I still love her. She seems kind of quiet. She's a little shady. She looks like a fucking Barbie. I don't know. She seems like quiet, confident. And if you guys remember season 7, Violet Chachki was like that. She reminds me a little bit of her. Very young. Not that many years of experience, but very polished. And that was very much like Violet Chachki. I don't know if there was ever a Latin queen I felt like her about. Well, Cynthia Lee Fontaine I really like, but we'll get to that in a second. And the second one, who I think I like as much as her, these are my top 2, it's Valentina. And my other one is Shea Coulee. I love her. She's beautiful. Her skin is like this caramel goodness, just so sweet. She is sweet, and she's funny, and I don't know, there's just this air about her. She seems very charming. And I started noticing with these Chicago queens, because she's from Chicago, there's just something very unique about them. You know, Trixie, Pearl, Kimchi. There's just something like very, I don't know, like comic booky almost. I don't know, because there are other comic book queens that weren't from Chicago, but I don't know, there's something just very, I don't know, I'm lost for words, but they're bringing something new to the drag world. So I really love her. Charlie Hides. At first, I thought that when I saw them at the Queens, I thought that that was the first time I was seeing Charlie Hides. But apparently, I did see her before, especially when she mentioned in the episode that she got in trouble for Lana Del Rey impression she did on YouTube. And I think I saw that a few years ago, and I went back and I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute, this seems really familiar. So I don't know if she's on RuPaul's Drag Race, to be honest. I don't think she needs the approval of RuPaul. But it's always good for your fees, I guess. You know, I really like Charlie Hides. And if you saw, I watched Untucked as well. If you saw Untucked, she like stood up for James Mansfield, who I really like. But it seems like James Mansfield like has a little bit of, she's not a normal drag queen, kind of in the sense that Jinx wasn't a normal drag queen either. Like, I don't think she has that drag queen culture of reading people and like being kind of mean and spicy. So I actually like queens like that. I think they bring something new, and it's just another form of interpreting the art. You don't have to just be that pageant queen that goes up there, lip syncs, and then, you know, makes cheap jokes at people, but that's fun too. I have no problem with that. And of course, I think the breakout star of the first episode was Nina Fofana Shoshana Osama Bin Laden Brown. She's amazing. I'm really drawn to her. You can compare her a little bit to Acid Betty, but I don't even know if that's fair, because she's just like, I'm sorry, like, I love Acid Betty, but Nina Brown is like on a whole different level on her own planet, and I'm living for that, to be honest. I really love that. And like, I think it's like past drag. She's like literally an artist. The things she does with paper, like, that's fucking art. I like her sense of spirit. Does that make sense? And Trinity, when I saw them Meet the Queens, I didn't really gravitate towards her. I just thought she'd be a pageant queen, a little bitchy. But no, girl, she is very polished, and she's definitely one to look out for. She reminds me a little bit of Detox. She has a lot of plastic surgery like Detox. But yeah, there's just something very confident about her, and she's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. So I really love her too. And Alexis Michelle also was someone that I didn't know. Well, first of all, if you look at the promo for season 9, I think we can all agree that Alexis Michelle is the best. She was in the yellow, this like sequined, it's like fish scales on her dress. Just Google it if you don't know what I'm talking about. You probably do if you're watching this, but it was just so amazing. So I kind of from there I was like, oh, I'm kind of curious to see her. But she has like a very sweet personality, something sweet about her. I'm excited and looking forward to her. Now, shit, my hair. Okay. Now let's talk about the queens maybe that, I don't know, didn't come out too good. I'm trying to think here. Listen, guys, like I said, take everything with a grain of salt what I'm saying, because we're still gonna get to know these queens, and every queen that's been on there is a Ru girl, and I mean, what more can you say about that? But I don't know, Eureka. A lot of people are saying she's like Ginger Minj, or like even a little bit meaner. Yeah, I don't know, like the whole bitter queen thing. Yeah, she's kind of giving me those vibes, especially when she was coming for James Mansfield, and it wasn't in good fun because like she's not into that. So it just seemed like kind of picking on someone, you know. So I don't know, she seemed a little mean, and I want to see if she's funny enough to justify the meanness, because Ginger Minj is very funny. I personally think she's very talented. I mean, even on season 7 I was like, oh, I don't really want her to win, but the bitch is talented. You can't deny that. So yeah. Also, Ru wasn't in drag this episode. It was just a very weird episode. Like, part of it didn't really feel like Drag Race. I don't know. It did, but it was like very different. And let me see what else. It's just off the top of my head here. They ought to dress up like representing their states, I think, was it? Or their hometowns. And honestly, I think my favorite one from those, I'm trying to think like just the ones that I can remember. I remember Shea Coulee with the hot dog. And just, you know what it is. I love beauty queens who are funny. Yeah, who doesn't love that? But I think they stand out to me a lot more. Just the bitch that can paint, can dress herself, and she's funny as fuck, and she's charming, and she's smart. So when she came out with that hot dog, like, on the side of her head, and she just stood there at the end of the runway, and she's like, bitch, I'm from Chicago. I was, oh my god. I almost dropped my kitten notebook. That is how good it was. Oh god, I was gagging at that. Oh yeah, Valentina. Oh my god. Oh my god, like all of her look, she reminds me a little bit of Miss Fame. She's like the Latin Miss Fame, but she's like a Barbie doll. She's a woman. Oh my god, Valentina. You take my breath away. And she really inspires me because she's only been doing drag for 10 months. And look at how fucking polished she is. And in the Meet the Queen, she's like, I never looked busted. And girl, I believe that because Latin Barbie. And I have a thing for Barbies, as you can see. I have this Barbie phone. I don't know what episode 2 will bring. Obviously it will bring the 14th queen. Spoilers, if you haven't seen it, you should not be watching this video. But people are saying it's Cynthia Lee Fontaine. That makes sense because of the hair and the boots, but I don't know, you think it would be that, but you know what, it's either Cynthia Lee Fontaine or Layla McQueen. I still think it might be Layla McQueen, and they're just like, girl, put on a different wig that you don't usually put to trick people. So it could still be her, but yeah, I'm thinking it might be Cynthia Lee Fontaine. Yes, I think she deserves a redemption, sort of. The way she got kicked out was kind of bitter for me, but a lot of queens got kicked out in a bitter way. You know, that I still wanted to see more. I mean, yeah, Max deserved to come back. Acid Betty. There are a lot of queens that deserve to come back. So I don't know, guys. Write down who you think is coming back. By the way, I cannot believe that they left us like that. That was fucked up. I thought they were gonna show us, and then you'd be like, oh my god, and you have a week to talk about it. Oh my gosh, she's gonna come back, and they didn't. I was like, no. Oh my god, it was not fair. Okay, they left a cliffhanger there. I knew it was gonna happen. As soon as I saw the back, I was like, oh, they're not gonna show us who it is, and they're just gonna leave us waiting for more for an entire goddamn week, and that's what they did. Also, shout out to Willem for uploading a beatdown during Drag Race being on. Is that not the most Willem thing you can do? Is upload your YouTube show while Drag Race is on? Yeah, actually, it probably is the most Willem thing you can do. Uh-oh. What's going on? Okay. And I really like James Mansfield. She was one of the queens I was looking up the most before Drag Race was on. Sorry. And I really liked her. Like, she gave me Bain de la Creme vibes. Yeah. So, alright. I don't know if I'm missing something. This is just my first impression from the episode. Yes. Oh, right. You know, we gotta talk about Aja. There's this big controversy with Aja that they're saying she's not as polished as they thought that she would be up close. It's obvious she has a skin condition. And if anyone's had a skin condition, you could tell that it's very difficult to cover that up. So you can't fault her for that. Now the makeup itself, not including the skin, it's a little bit rough around the edges, but you gotta give her credit because she started a trend, you know. That's saying a lot. And you can tell she has a very unique style. You know, it's very Tokyo. She said that. Tokyo meet the streets of Brooklyn. And I think it's more Tokyo than Brooklyn. But yeah, I'm excited for her. I didn't like that wig that she used in the Gaga runway. It's just, like, I understand. I think that's what Gaga used for that outfit. But I don't know, like, it looked like a shake and go a little bit. But that's okay. I like Aja. Listen, there's a reason she's well known. Okay, so I think we should trust that. For episode 2, who do I think is gonna go home? Well, I'll tell you something. If James Mansfield doesn't step that pussy up, I think she will be the one to go home. But I don't know. Sometimes you can be surprised. Who was someone that wasn't very... You know, actually, maybe Aja could go home pretty earlier than we expect. Maybe like a Layla McQueen, and everyone she has like her own cult following or something. Because she's a little rough. I don't know. But I really listen, all these queens are really amazing. By the way, they're gonna keep Eureka around because she's a bitch and she's a shit starter. And of course, say what you want, but this is what makes the show, are these queens, okay? And they're drag queens, guys. Don't forget that. They're in this atmosphere of like reading each other and getting attention and, you know, making shitty jokes, and they're used to it. I feel like they're very similar to comedians. And when you're a stand-up comedian, you have to have a thick skin because, you know, everyone's there just cracking on each other, and that's aka reading. So I think these girls have really thick skin. Just James Mansfield I'm not sure about. So yeah. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna try and do one of these every week because I love Drag Race. And that's my life, and that's why I do YouTube. So I could talk about this for hours. I feel like I'm missing so much. You know what? I'm gonna write some notes down next episode. That way it could be more cohesive because I feel like this was kind of messy. But I don't mind watching videos that are messy. I feel like I'm just having a conversation with a friend or something. So yeah. Okay, so subscribe, like my video, follow me on Instagram, leave a comment. Yeah, leave a comment. Listen, whenever I get a comment on this channel, I'm like, oh my god, please come here and be my friend. Okay, it's not an exaggeration because I'm very lonely. I want to meet people on YouTube. I want to meet people who like Drag Race, who like makeup, who like shit talking, and who like kikiing, you know? Okay, guys? Okay, guys, I will see you next week.